This is for faggots.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of Wednesday Night Kiki. I'm your host, Chris Avalon, and guess what, bitches? This is the show where we come in and we just talk about all the latest trending topics and entertainment news, little queer news, all that good stuff. So we bring you all the stuff that other people aren't bringing, along with some visuals and things that you may not see on other shows. So we're going to keep this one light and short and to the point. So what I want to do is we got to bring in our co-host, someone who I live for, that just be doing the production and as well as tries to bring a little seriousness to the show while I just be, roasting and gagging. I do bring a little substance, but I just got to maintain the shadiness. But anyway, without further ado, let's bring in the one and only Mr. EJ Parker. Where you at there? Where you at?
Oh. Fix my face, girl. What's up, everybody? We are back for another edition of Wednesday Night Kiki. As you guys see in the on the tweets and Facebooks, this is the Trending Stories edition part of the show. This is one of both our favorite parts of the show. If you guys are new to the show, welcome to the channel on our YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We working on something soon to hit on the Instagrams for all the Instagram live girls. We coming. But today we are back, and I'm glad to be back with you, Chris. And I'm actually really excited to talk about these topics. You guys know that's been following the mainstream media. We are not gonna hold our tongues here on this channel. We're gonna get right to it. And we're talking about it here. We got Lil Nas X on the docket. We're going to talk about Montero, Call Me By Your Name. And we're also going to talk about Miss Beyonce. And we got Real Housewife news that is shaking up the industry. We got another one looking like she's going to be facing some time in prison with Teresa and her husband as well. So let's get right to it without further ado. Here's this week's most trending stories. Slow news week. Never. Here are this week's most trending stories. And we're kicking it off with the troll himself, Little Nas X. The man whose name has been in the mouths of almost everyone, it seems, from around the world in regards to his latest song and video titled Montero, Call Me By Your Name. And when I say, did this show the true hypocrisy, homophobia, and bigotry of these fake-ass selective outrage Christians, who apparently find this video of all things added to the list of abominations, when will they ever learn? Sweetie, it was never about you. It was always about liberation and the freedom to do whatever we want as a society. Period. Okay? I hope Lil Nazi keep doing his thing and helps a lot more people come out of the closet for decades to come. Then we head into the land of the weird and strange, but sometimes tamed amongst the glitz and glam of it all. In Hollywood, that is, where what had happened was apparently there was, or shall I say, are a string of robberies happening, and the latest is the one and only Queen Bey. Yes, the most Grammy Award-winning mega pop star Beyonce storage space has been boosted. And the remaining question is, was this an inside job? Plus, what does this mean when there has been a string of robberies or incidents, including Suzanne Summers to Johnny Depp, and now literally 24 hours prior to this story, we have the latest reporting of Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello home being invaded by an intruder. What is going on with the LAPD? And does social media have anything to do with this? Next, speaking of social media, we have the fallout of a 10-year love and hate battle. And no, I'm not talking about body weight or shoe size. I'm talking about the queen of Twitter, the beautiful and incomparable Chrissy Teigen, who has been one of the most vocalist components to the otherwise known for its most trivial controversies, opinions, and of course viral memes. She has survived and bared it all, even sharing with the world the untimely passing of her and Grammy Award-winning singer John Legend's unborn child. She has decided to take a break from the social media platform, Twitter that is. Now, you would think she could handle anything, but at the end of the day, we're all human. And if she made the decision to leave for her mental capacity, then we, here at Wednesday Night Kiki TV, is here for it. And may her tweets live on in infamy. And finally, we're discussing the latest breaking news via Real Housewives of Salt Lake City and the drama unfolding in Mormon land, where we have a housewife possibly heading to the federal prison in Haney. So apparently, Jennifer Shaw of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City home was raided earlier today when this was being recorded, and the federal authorities have arrested her on charges of telemarketing fraud, otherwise known as MLM, multi-level marketing type fraud, where she has set a chain of command or pyramid scheme, and she would have others do the continuous fraud, all the while she was the provider of the information and basically setting up an illegal pipeline of ongoing revenue. And according to the many reports, she could be facing up to 30 years behind bars if convicted. Ain't it funny how the so-called rich always do it to themselves? Sounds like she'll be living rich, all right, knitting her next quilt and eating pate for what's going to be feel like at least the rest of her life. What should Miss Cohen do now? Should he replace her? Oh, we're going to talk about it. Well, until next week. Honey. That is a mess, honey. That is a mess right there. Mm-hmm. Chris, what do you got to say?
Well, I don't watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I could care less about that bitch. First of all, lock her ass up and throw away the key on the strength of that clip that I saw of her disrespecting, what was it, her makeup artist?
Oh yeah.
Where she basically just disrespected him. He filmed it and all that other stuff. She was just being a nasty see you next Tuesday in the house to him and I'm sure other members of her staff. So to me, this is karma personified. If she sees a couple of years in prison, who cares? Quiet as it's kept. Nobody's watching The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I don't know why they continue to expand on this franchise when it's long in the tooth, as old, as tired, as about as old and tired as these bitches that be on that show. So to me, y'all didn't get rid of all these goddamn Real Housewives, to be quite frank. I mean, okay, hold on. I am looking forward to seeing New York, and I'm looking forward to seeing Beverly Hills on the strength of what's going on with Miss Erica Jane and her husband and that stuff. So I want to see a trailer for that just to come to a determination of if this will be a juicy season. New York, I saw the trailer for that last week, so I'm excited for this season. I could care less about New Jersey. New Jersey is boring to me. I'm tired of Teresa. Atlanta, besides Strippergate, like all these women are not interesting at all. I don't watch Orange County, never have watched a single episode of Orange County, nor do I care. And all these other spinoffs, and then they talk about bringing Miami back. It's like, I'm over him. I'm over Andy Cohen. I'm over that whole franchise. I'm just over it all. So if they send her away, bye. But one of the topics that I'm really excited to break down is Lil Nas X one, because I feel, based on a lot of the vlogs and everything that I've been watching, oh, especially coming from Black people, gays, I feel like I'm not giving no real, true opinion about a lot of stuff. I've been seeing a lot of negative comments, particularly from our community, about him. And I feel like you motherfuckers have missed the point, especially from some people who call themselves artists and can't see what he's doing. To me, if y'all haven't seen the video, y'all can go to Tribe, is there. Along with the news that the new album comes out, the debut album comes out in the summer. He hasn't given a date yet, but he did announce on Twitter that's coming out in the summer. The video, I totally felt where he was coming from. He says about a relationship, but if you looked at it, like we discussed at random on Saturday when it was fresh, so we could bring it here. We've been told for how long from religions that we're going to hell for being gay? So here you have a Black gay man reflecting the bullshit that y'all reflected on us since the dawn of the 20th century, because quiet as it's kept, homosexuality was not introduced into the church and in the Bible until the 20th century. It was not decades before that. So y'all want to come up in here with that Sodom and Gomorrah bullshit that y'all like to twist around with King James and all that foolishness? Say that shit for the rest of you blind sheep like Tyler Perry and the rest of them. Oh, we're going to go into that queen later on in another show. But the fact of the matter is, all y'all focused on was one thing, which was the lap dance with the devil. You ain't paid attention to everything else that led up to that point, but y'all want to focus on one little thing. That's what got y'all outraged. Talking about, well, my kid is like Old Town Road, and now he's doing this. I can't get behind his music anymore. Who said Old Town Road was for kids? Number one. If your child happened to listen to it because it was a wholesome song, okay. But I didn't say at 21, 22 years old that I was just going to make a bunch of jingles for a bunch of 2-year-olds. Which some pop stars have decided to do because they're more about the check than about pushing boundaries and being an artist, which some of y'all seem to have amnesia, where you have to realize that artists are not babysitters. They're not here to mentor and take care of your kids. You, when you decide to spread your fucking legs to have children, or the men who stick their dick up in you to make that baby with that woman that spread her legs to pop them out, your responsibility is to raise your fucking kids, not these celebrities, not Lil Nas X, not a Madonna, not a Cardi B. Because y'all were just going in on her with WAP not too long ago. And Up. And the Grammys, which they already set a date for the 2022 one, and ain't nobody barely watched the 2021 one. So
they gotta keep that money.
For people to just be trying to project all this stuff on him, when I feel like I want to hear from the kids out here who saw the video and were inspired. They're talking about devil worship and this, that, and the other, but lest y'all forget, didn't DMX incorporate devilish imagery and so talking about the Satan and things in his music? Didn't Bone Thugs and Harmony do the same fucking thing? So why are we being selective when it comes to Lil Nas X? Also, do you not remember South Park Big, Long, and Uncut? Saddam Hussein had a whole fucking relationship with the devil. Y'all got Lucifer that y'all sit up here creaming your goddamn vaginas over. That's about to go into their final season. That was saved by Netflix. Y'all not upset about that? Why? Because Lucifer's gorgeous. He's good looking. He's fine. Y'all want to fuck him. So now all of a sudden it's okay with an actor portraying Lucifer on TV because he's attractive. But because of this, the hypocrisy, spare me with the fucking hypocrisy. I'm tired of this shit. Especially coming from black people, y'all can't even conjure up a goddamn thought, original thought in your goddamn mind without worrying about what other people think. And that's the bottom line. It's internalized homophobia, indoctrinated religion, because y'all were taught to hate yourselves after, feeling guilty after sex. There's that sexual guilt that goes into religion. The brainwashing of religion. Don't even get me started on that. That's why I follow a more spiritual path than a religious one. Because religion is a man-made, white supremacist designed creation to keep your minds enslaved. That is exactly what religion is. And why I got an A in sociology when I decided to write an article about the hypocrisy of religion and what it does. And I think also people don't really think about this. Because y'all said, oh, he's talking about devil worship and the Illuminati. And I hear certain closeted vloggers on YouTube that want to sit and talk about he's possessed by Satan and things. I saw his little video, a tight ass descendant of Tasha K. She knows who she is.
Ooh.
Took her name after Halle Berry in an X-Men movie. Oh, I turned that bitch. You can't even come to terms with whether you like a dick in your mouth or your ass. You over here trying to read Lil Nas X. Okay, Queen, have a seat. 1,000 of them. Because he's another one that, couldn't make it in Hollywood, so you want to hate on everybody that's actually got more success than your ass has. Quiet as that's kept.
Girl.
Anyway, so... yeah, so it just irks my spirit when you have these people up in here who, like I said, it all stems from internalized homophobia, religious indoctrination, and sexual shame, which is the real root of why y'all are mad at Lil Nas X. And he has pointed out the hypocrisy of organized religion and how y'all don't even think about how religion may have failed him as a person, because he was raised to believe being gay is wrong. You're going to hell. Mind you, you got pastors and priests who's supposed to priests supposed to take a vow of celibacy, but y'all going out to gay clubs getting your backs blown out with no condom. Fucking little boys and the clergy trying to take lawsuits and sweep it under the rug and paying people out so they don't, and then shoving these pedophiles to different churches thinking that's going to solve the issue when it's not, because celibacy is bullshit. Especially as long as you got sperm growing in your goddamn balls, you cannot abstain from sex.
I'm done.
So I can continue to drag all day long. These little trolls out here want to hide behind their computers spewing bullshit. But I'm with Lil Nas X. My only thing is, okay, so I want to know what exactly is the goal here. Like, I see that he is spewing his stuff and figuring out who he is and being an artist and exploring, and I don't think he necessarily, as Montero, because that's what the name of the new album is, named after that's his real name. He plans on going with this. So this album, I'm hoping, is going to be an explanation of his upbringing, his sexuality, being in relationships with men. I'm sure he's had relationships with men who don't want to be named, but were in the closet that want to, sleep with him. These down low people, especially some of them in Hollywood. I don't need him to name names.
Well, I mean, I just
want him to be himself. Let him explore who he is. Let him be an artist, and stop trying to pigeonhole him in this little box to make him into what you want him to be. Because you're worried about your kids seeing some shit. Your kids have seen far. I'm sure that your little 9-year-old be in the back staircase sucking dick and probably got syphilis in their toes. Y'all sitting up here wanting to worry about your child being affected by what they seeing on TV. Your kids are out here doing far worse.
I love him for being who he is. Like I said in the trending stories, I think that him standing up to the bullies, that being the conservatives, the Christians here. You got Caitlyn Bennett here. She's a basically nutmeg on steroids. And
I don't know who that is, but go ahead.
Thank you. I still see your tweets, shitty pants. So I just love that he's clapping back at everyone. He's being himself, his authentic self. These are the sneakers that you're talking about, the Satan sneakers that sold out.
I like to call them bloody shoes.
Okay. And so yeah, I just love that he's being himself, and I think his goal is what exactly happened is to show the hypocrisy, the homophobia, the bigotry, the transphobia, everything that's wrapped into one. Like, and people who have an issue with it within our own community, that's something that you got to dig deeper. And that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother type
and ask themselves, what is it about this video that has triggered you, that has gotten you so upset that you're saying all this shit that you're saying on social media, or talking devils and demons and devil worship and all that other. Like, you believe what you believe in your religion, but just because you believe it don't necessarily mean the next person does. So I don't understand why people cannot.
He trolled them with Chick-fil-A. If you guys are upset,
and I live for that one. Step outside your own bubble to think that, okay, not everybody believes what you believe.
Right.
And let him tell his story. Even if you don't agree with a friend of mine, Sharon, said, you know what? I like his music. I thought he did too much in the video. I still like him, but if I don't like something, I'm going to turn it off. I'm not going to go and put all that energy into something that I'm not excited or comfortable at. And I'm like, I wish more people thought like that. Like, okay, if you don't like something, then don't like it. But why do you feel like you need to gather everybody to just be in your shit so you can have an opinion? Because we had Miss Dry Edges and Ashy Knees, Miss Kundis, up in here thinking that she had an opinion that everybody gave a fuck about. And he trolled her too. I sent you the tweets.
Mm-hmm.
She ain't everyone. And I like that, he's clapping back and he has time. It's funny how they told T.S. Madison not to clap back on her show when, the people's coming for her, but Nas got time. And nobody's advising him. But there was a question I do want to ask, because one of the things I did watch on another show, there was a question that was asked. And I was like, oh my God, that's a really interesting question. So Selena Johnson asked, because I was watching Cocktails with Queens, and I didn't really care for what that dumbass Lisa Ray or Vivica had to say. Like, they need to spend more time, less time. I think all that filler in their face and went to their fucking brain, especially when Lisa Ray was up there talking about colorism. But anyway, do you think that, because I don't know, I guess people are afraid of where he's going to go with his career, that he needs some sort of, because she asked where are the mentors, someone to mentor a little Nas, like she mentioned RuPaul. And I was thinking, like, where's the RuPauls? Where are the Billy Porters, a lot of the older queens who have been where he is going? And while RuPaul did have huge success in the music world, well, he was pretty much a one-hit wonder on, with the major label, but he has been able to churn out hits over the years by going independent. He's still making his coins and he's still able to market the music the way he wants to without the major label pressure. So there's that. Do you think that he needs some sort of with some of the gay mentors to come in and sweep him, take him under their wing and steer him in the right direction? Or do you think that he has the right people behind him and we should just let him figure out where he needs, what he needs to do and where he needs to go?
That is a really, really, really good question. And I don't necessarily know how I feel about that. But I do think that him opening this Pandora's box, which again, he knew was coming his way regardless. I do think that he does have a good head on his shoulders. I don't think he's lost. I don't think he's at a space where he would need someone to rush in and check on him. Like, I don't think he's mentally like on a decline. I don't get that from him. What I do get from him is somebody who's ready to speak in his truth. Someone who's ready to not give a F about people who have an opinion. That I think that's the hardest thing to do as an artist nowadays. Like, you're judged, you're ridiculed, you're somewhat persecuted. Not to get too religious, but hey, Lil Nas is bringing us there, and I'm not the most religious person, so I don't really have an opinion here. Okay, yeah, like I mean, I don't have really an opinion per se about who he's hurting here, because clearly people watching the show know how we feel from what we just said. So I'm here for it. It's a young artist who's doing something other than gang banging and the original situation. I know I took it there with that word, but that's probably some trick or something, but I don't mean it like that. But just saying, like, he's doing something other than what we see. I grew up in a project. That's all I saw was in the hood and being part of gangs. I was a part of one, 2 or 3, or I lost count at some point. You try to fit in, but not like serious gangs. But I can't really run street cred like that. But like your little gangs with your friends and stuff. That was the culture. So I'd rather him get in that route, the Tekashis and the late XXXTentacion, like all of that situation. He's going a different route. He's being himself, and he admires those artists too. You see him work. He wanted to work with them. So he's a product of the internet, and a product of the internet is someone who's not going to give a AF on about anything. So I just think we got to just take it as it is.
I agree.
Oh, okay.
I agree. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was messaging someone, but I was listening. I know it looked like I wasn't, but I was. But yeah, I just feel like we need to just let him figure out who he is and be an artist. And I feel like, you know what? I was just talking to it's funny how the other day, before this video even dropped, I was talking to a friend, and he was saying, like, this new generation is so boring. Like, none of y'all are taking chances. Y'all don't want to do nothing different. Everybody wants to just toe the line and be safe because they want to get money, and nobody want to ruffle feathers. Everybody's all sensitive because social media. And here, it takes a Black gay man to come along with a thick skin, and I'm sure it loosens things a little bit, but, that's the good thing about being gay. We can be shady, and we can always have a clap back. And I love the fact that, he's willing to take the mantle and just, let's move beyond the whole Old Town Road thing and let's be creative and all that other stuff. But, there was a story that came out, I don't know if you heard, that they're trying to say that Lil Nas X basically bit from FKA Twigs' Cellophane out video.
Oh.
I don't know if you heard about that, but yeah, her video came out in 2019, and it says that the singer pole dances while twisting and twirling downward through the air in a similar fashion. So when this was brought to me by a friend of mine, I'm like,
okay, I can see that.
I'm like, so FKA Twigs invented pole dancing? Like, strippers been doing that shit since the dawn of time. And yeah, while it may be similar, it also says that the people that I believe he worked with the same team that the visual people that worked on that video also worked with Lil Nas X on his video. And I've said that sometimes it'd be like that sometimes, that if you notice, like when certain artists work with certain producers, their music is very similar. They'll make a little tweaks and changes here and there, but nevertheless they selling the same goddamn beat over and over, which is why a lot of those producers don't necessarily last long. It's the same thing with visual artists and music video people, that you'll work with the same team, and a lot of photos or a lot of visual stuff that you see in the video or some of the ideas are very similar. And I
Right.
like FKA Twigs and I like Little Nas X. And yeah, I mean, imitation is a serious form of flattery. A lot of artists, a lot of these mainstream artists tend to work with the same cesspool of people. So
Right.
this is true. I'm not surprised. I mean, if it is, I'm not surprised by it. But it also said that I want to show love to at FKA Twigs and Andrew Thomas Huang. The cellophane visual is a masterpiece. I was not aware of the visual that the visual would serve as inspiration for those who worked on the effects of my video.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thank you to Twigs for calling me and informing me about the similarities between the two videos, as I was not aware that they were so close. I was, it says, was only excited for the video to come out. I understand how hard you worked to bring that visual to life. You deserve so much more love and praise. So I'm sure he probably had an idea. He worked with a team of people, and they probably presented him with that bit of information, and it just turned out that the same people who provided that bit of visual with him worked with her in the past. Because he said he probably came up with that. Oh, I want there to be some pole dancing involved, and those people probably were like, "Well, you know what? Maybe we'll incorporate this in there." And it just so happened that because not a lot of times people seem to think that all these artists come up with their own ideas. They'll come up with a little something, something, and then a team of people will come and present them with other stuff. And as a collective, if you have a team of people, they will put the idea together and be like, "Okay, let's work on this." So even me as an artist, I would not be aware of every little artist or whatever idea that has come out beforehand.
Right.
So sometimes
Right.
people always just look at the end product and want to just be like, "Oh, this was a thief and this was a biter, this was a copycat." Sometimes it's not even the artist's fault. Like a lot of times artists don't even have time to just like come up with a lot of different ideas. Like I said, it always comes with a team of people. So on that note, you know what? I've never seen somebody trend as much as Lil Nas X has, because he's been going on for past week. And people are talking about, oh, he did it during Holy Week. Okay, and like y'all been selling us a lot, the church has been selling us a lie for how long?
Mm-hmm.
With Holy Week, Palm Sunday, Easter Sunday, which is coming up this week, and y'all go in and buy into it. So if he wants to use this Easter week as an opportunity or Holy Week as an opportunity to sell a product, it's a marketing genius in my opinion. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for from a marketing standpoint. But that's all I got for this topic. We'll keep you guys abreast of this because I'm sure there's more to come on this whole Lil Nas X thing. And if I have any more stuff to come up with, I'll talk about it. But I just love the fact that he's ruffling the feathers of these fucking Christians and their fake ass tears and fear, got their fears ruffling up in them because they just walk
Right.
around being afraid of
Right.
every goddamn thing. But until y'all live in a glass house, y'all be the ones that should be throwing the first stone, okay? As y'all like to say, and taking shit from your own stuff and bringing it back. But on that note, listen.
Listen, like you said, I agree with everything you said. Artists steal from artists, and it is what it is. If it's true, then let's see what happens. But even if it is, so what? So be it. Lil Nas X is about who does it best. And I'm sure that's Lil Nas X theory behind it. But stick around, guys, before we wrap up this episode here, Trending Stories here. We have a video of someone who is defending him, someone in our community who's defending him, other than saying something else. So stick around for that before we wrap up this Trending Story segment. But right now, let's get to someone else who has been, shall I say, trending just because who she is. And when I heard this story, I'm sorry.
You talking about Chrissy Teigen?
Yes, yes, Chrissy Teigen. When I heard the story drop about her leaving and deleting her Twitter account and just the way it just came out of nowhere, because I wasn't expecting it. Usually you hear that they're going through something and then it kind of just spirals down that route. But to just hear it out of nowhere, like watching, I think I was watching E News or something like that, and all of a sudden they like the latest on Chrissy Teigen. She announced that she left Twitter, blah blah blah, and and then to hear her statement, I somewhat understand where she's coming from. this is something you and we talk about a lot. You know, all on air, off air. You know, I think we spoke about it last week, even regarding a fellow drag queen and you know, in the community from RuPaul's Drag Race. Like, this is something that is continuously going on in our culture, unfortunately, and you know, the world that we live in. But it's not, you know, it's not going away. As I always say to you, it's not going away. It's not gonna, you know, change overnight until we get, you know, the real leadership that we have to get regarding social media, whether it comes from the government or just the damn owners themselves, you know, just taking the initiative to say, hey, there's a problem, you know, let's fix it. Granted, people are going to get bullied regardless, but if you can minimize the amount of hate that's on there, like, I think it can go a long way. So, you know, Chrissy Teigen there, this is her account right now. As of today, you know, you go to Chrissy Teigen's account and she is no longer a part of the world of social media. And, you know, I think about her 10-year fight with this situation. This is a 10-year fight. Every now and again, you see the delete Facebook situation. For those that are Twitter, you know, Twitterers out there, the people who hang on Twitter. There, you know, as I tell you all the time, we're always talking about the new technologies and who's copying who. Someone else is coming out with stories and Snapchats and this stuff, and now they got Reels, and YouTube got Shorts, which is the rival to TikTok. So that's, you know, that's gonna come soon on YouTube. Shout out to our YouTube channel followers, subscribers. Sorry, see, it's language too. Damn it. So anyway, Chris, you get the point. So her being on Twitter and being someone who was extremely popular, you know, just in life itself, you know, she's a celebrity, she's a model, you know, and you know, it's really just a sad thing when anyone leaves Twitter or social media, because the question is like, well, did it bother you that bad? And yes, it did. You know, she's not able to deal with the backlash of just being Chrissy Teigen. And the flip side, you know, some say she asked for it, you know, and to that notion, she made another statement right here. And she says here that, you know, she basically, my life goal to make people happy. The pain I feel when I don't is too much for me. I've always been portrayed as a strong clapback girl, but I'm just not. I
agree. It becomes overwhelming after a while. Like you use Twitter as an opportunity to just talk with people. This is why I use Facebook more than anything else, because you could really project everything you need to say in long form sentences, and that's the way I am. Like, I have to break everything on that. I'm very descriptive, so that way people get where I'm coming from without trying to take what I say out of context. Twitter's for fucking trolls, which features a lot of people who like to use egg emojis and say a bunch of shit and want to call you misogynistic names, racist names, you know, want to call you all sorts of disgusting names. And she's someone who is very opinionated, who has a strong mind and a strong brain in regards of having an opinion. But after a while, it does take its toll on you. Like, I remember they were talking about this on The View, and I had to laugh when Sarah Haynes was saying, oh, Nutmeg gave me some advice to like mute them. I'm like, that bitch don't mute nobody. She blocks people. So for her to sit there even telling you she don't block, she's a liar, because I've seen firsthand from people that I know that have said stuff to her and she has blocked them. So for her to sit there and try to pretend like she doesn't, the bitch is a liar. She's about as truthful as the shit that comes out of her mouth when she's talking about politics. It's all propaganda and it's all BS. So, I feel for Chrissy in a lot of ways, and I wish that, you know what, there was a way that you can, like Instagram, you can say what you need to say in the comments, or not comments, you can say everything you need to say in the headline with a photo, and then you can prevent people from responding. I kind of wish it was that way on Twitter, where people just can't leave messages and stuff, but you could control what you put in your profile. So I hope it doesn't leave other platforms. It's unfortunate that people cannot express themselves. You know, people with actual brains and with logical shit to say, but y'all get off on, you know, bigots like Donald Trump, who I just heard was banned from, I think it was Facebook or something or another again, because he tried to slither his way back on social media. It was banned again. Where in the beginning, you know, you had all these people up on here saying all kinds of crazy stuff, and they're allowed to say whatever. The Tony Laurens, the Kunis Owens, all these other fools that be up here saying all kinds of bigoted crap towards people. You get to say whatever the hell y'all want, but the minute we want to clap back or the minute we want to say something, y'all have a problem with it. And the good guys tend to get trolled harder than the you know, negativity. You seem like it just sells. It's unfortunate, and people just, it's easier to be negative. So just, you know, protect her sanity and her mental health. It's unfortunate that this is something that she has to do, but anything that, you know, to help your mind, I say do it.
Right. And you know, I just want to celebrate her. So let's celebrate Chrissy Teigen, guys. This is one of my favorite gifs that went around from New Year's years ago when she got hit in the face with the umbrella.
Who's that? My husband?
So she's been really just
in the eye with the umbrella.
Right, and she's just been funny just because of anything. This is another one here, her at the Golden Globes, I believe, sleeping.
So I mean, people too. That show is boring.
Exactly. So people just love making fun with her, of her. And this is the funny meme here when she's
well, maybe she had a headache from all that cheap ass wine.
Yes. Oh gosh. So this is Chrissy Teigen, guys. And also remember, guys, she recently just lost her unborn child. So that was a big thing with Chrissy Teigen. Another reason why I took this real serious too. And as you guys see there, you know, the statement about them being shocked and it, you know, so she, and again, Chris, like we always talk about, we're not living in their shoes. We're not a woman in America, a woman of color, a strong woman. And I know women of color don't like that, you know, connotation, but you know, she is someone who's strong. She's beautiful. She's a model, you know, and she's a target, unfortunately, for the nuts out there who just hate anything other than their rarity of white, fair skin. And it's sad. So white supremacy is everywhere. And, you know, it's unfortunate, you know, she dealt a lot with the former guy, the formerly disgraced, twice impeached, one term, you know who. And that's another reason too. Like, you're someone of color who's powerful. Look what they're doing to Lil Nas X. We just spoke about him, you know, and so it goes on and continuum. And this is something that, again, we are not going to get rid of right away, but we all have to do our part. You know, we spoke about last week with the AAPI community, which stopped the hate against the Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders who live in this country. You know, so, and she's one of them, you know, so it's a lot. And you could sit here and say, grow tough skin until it happens to you, or you could just give a damn and understand and just curb your enthusiasm the next time you take your anger out. And that's even ourselves. I practice what I preach. You know, it's hard sometimes when you hear people like a Nutmeg or a Caitlyn Bennett or even the governor that attacked Lil Nas X as well, another governor. Like, so it just goes on, and people who are feeling vocal, they're empowered, the hoods are off. You know, the you know, it's no longer subvertedly, it's overtly racism and bigotry and on steroids, and everything that we know is bad is good for them. And so it's like, how do you survive in this world, raise children, or go through something like she did so publicly and still put a smile on your face? She's human. I don't think it'd be forever, but when she does return, it's going to be the highlight of Twitter. And I'm sure Jack Dorsey's going to need those numbers. So work has to be done. I have my moments too, you know, and as DJ always say, you know, my partner, he says all the time about, like, it's about who you follow. The algorithm creates the rest. And that's true, but people can't help it if they're famous. Some people can't help it. Some people become famous overnight. Some people try really hard at it. And some people are just famous because of, you know, they have popular tweets and popular memes. And that was Chrissy Teigen. And it was just by default, like, she is who she is. Everything she does and has done just goes viral, you know. And speaking of, shout out to Justin at Daily Pop. I know we have our issues with.
I was going to say Justin Bieber.
No, No. Pause. But shout out to Justin Sylvester from Daily Pop. He had a great idea because the latest news that broke, if you guys have been sleeping under a rock, is that Sharon Osbourne is out. And he said he think Chrissy Teigen leaving Twitter may be her way of heading to the talk. And Chris,
bring it back on the screen. Bring it back on the screen, bitch.
What do you think?
I was like, I actually like this idea.
You know?
Yes. I didn't. The funny thing was, I did not think of her beforehand. It's funny because I was looking back on the talk, and I'm like, they've run through so many damn celebrities that I couldn't think of anybody. Like, I like when Eve was a part of the show, then she left. I know she was dealing with COVID and a bunch of other stuff, but now she got a role that's coming out with, she's doing a show with Brandy, and I'm looking forward to hearing who else they're going to add. You know what would be a good person they could add to that show, by the way? I was just thinking about it. She an actress and a singer, too. They need to add Jill Scott to that show.
Oh.
I was like, that's another one. So that'd be a third. Now they need to find one more. Because they're all like women of a certain age. I think Jill Scott is a little older. She might be in her late 40s, but Eve and Brandy are in their early 40s, so it works out. They just gotta find one more girl to be in the group, but I do think that they could bring, because Jill does singing. God, I sneezed. I had to put the mic off. So, but to bring it back on this, I actually think this is a good idea. Like, with her leaving Twitter, and I think she's someone who is very opinionated. She's a great personality. Like, I like when she was on Lip Sync Battle. I don't know if that show still comes on. Yeah, but I like when she was on Lip Sync Battle, when she was able to make fun of herself. And I do think that they need to have, it would be a way of them bringing interesting topics in. Like, you would just get rid of Sharon Osbourne, which that woman still got her just due. $10 million. She got to still walk away after all of this. That's a whole nother conversation. I mean, I'm glad she's going. But whatever. I do think that Chrissy Teigen would be a great addition. So maybe this would be a good idea. Like, she's leaving Twitter, and then they can negotiate with her to be a part of the show. I mean, they could use some young blood on there.
Okay, well, we will definitely see.
Who's part of that show? They had Carrie Ananabo, who I believe is what? Is she in her 50s? Because I remember she danced on the Madonna Girlie show. They have her. They have that other girl. I don't know the other women that's on the show. Elaine, somebody. They have the other white girl who's just. And then you got Black Guns. I mean, Cheryl Underwood. So you got them, and then you bring her in. That makes Chrissy Teigen works. So I'm here for it. I don't know why it took me forever to say yeah, but yes.
No. I think because you have to get your thoughts out. It's a lot to kind of piece it all together. But
you're trying to say why would be a good idea.
When I heard this, I definitely was like, I got to talk to you about it, and I'm glad that you agree, because I think if that was to happen, let's just say this is all hypothetically, obviously, guys, but if that were to happen, I think that would be a great situation for her. However, one of his Justin, the co-host there, responded and said, she don't think that she wants to really add that to her schedule. So we'll definitely see about
what are you doing? Because I mean, not saying like she's not busy, but I know you have a bunch of kids to raise. It's an hour of your day,
right? So it'll be interesting. I mean, she has but she also has the resources to, I'm sure she got her mom and some nannies, because John also works too. So, and she is a working mom, so we'll see. But without further ado, guys, let's get to the next story here. So we have Miss Beyonce in the news, guys, and she is in the news for something other than just her name, because every day something's going on. I just saw Blue Ivy just got something else again. I don't even know. I gotta double check on that. But Beyonce is in the news because of, apparently she has been robbed, and she was robbed at her storage space, and apparently they came twice to the storage space, and now the remaining question is who and how this happened. And I think that this totally was a inside job, because why would they come back twice? It's the latest reports. But however, there is also stories going around that there are others who may be connected to this story. Like for me, I'm putting the pieces together. I even think Gaga maybe, her situation may be connected to this, because it's just interesting.
So we go from stealing dogs to stealing people's stuff in storage.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking like, listen. I mean, isn't that what they do? They steal stuff. They rob. They're a group of people who just, it's funny how it's the sort of the same type of.
Yeah, because I remember there was a movie that came out. I can't remember the name of it. It was like a bunch of these kids, and I remember Emma Watson from Harry Potter starred in it, and it was a bunch of kids that was going around robbing celebrity homes, for their jewelry and their clothes and stand and third. I cannot remember the name of the movie. I'm sure people will, when they watch the show, either live or later on the YouTube channel, and many other constituents, that they will probably put in the comments what the movie was, because I cannot remember the name of it.
Yeah, I think the movie you're talking about is Bling. Yeah, that was the movie.
So
and so
this
Beyonce,
something similar,
right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you saw that movie, like, it's sort of interesting, because you also have other people that was this is one of the photos from Bling Ring that you were talking about, one of the when they were robbing the place. And it's interesting you say that, because like I said, she what happened to her, they did twice. So we're still finding out about exactly, I mean, not Chrissy Teigen, sorry, it was Beyonce. We're still finding out like more on the situation. But like I said, it also was a couple of months ago, about a month ago, we spoke about an intruder that came to well, we love her. I love her personally. And she's a legend. She is an icon. It's funny because I just joined this Facebook group, and she's a part of it. Those that know, once I say the show, I'm talking about Three's Company. But yeah, so we had Susan Summers, who was her home was invaded, if you will, of all things. And you remember that story, Chris, when the intruder came into her home about 3.5 weeks ago? It was a trending story, and and she did it live. It happened live on Facebook. And now you have the same thing happen to Kendall Jenner. Literally, the other day, somebody came in her house and hopped in the pool. It's a mess in Hollywood. You also have other celebrities too who happen to not be home. Majority of them are not home, and that's a great thing. But Suzanne Summers were, and her, thank God her husband was there, and he exited the guy out of the house. But this is something that is not, like I said earlier about Chrissy Teigen, unfortunately, it's not going to stop. It's not going to go away. But what the hell is happening with the LAPD that they can't figure this out? If the FBI can stop people from doing the most horrific crimes, then how can the LAPD cannot get a hold on how these, and I know majority of it, like I said with Chrissy, has to do with social media and the fact that celebrities are just, they're going to be ignorant to situations. You would think that they would learn, and that's something that even you had Harvey Levin, he says a lot on TMZ and other entertainment reporters, and it's true. Like, if you saw the movie, even you said, Chris, this reminds you of a movie. They made a movie of this, but it's like everyone is susceptible to be robbed. You're living in the Hollywood Hills, you're in this mansion, and some of them don't stay there often. And then, so it's just, it's interesting when it all crumbles, but
security.
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Some of them have security. That's the crazy part. They have security. They have gates and everything. So it's like, how is this even possible? With when you hear and so you watch the shows and you're like, how does this even happen in a place like Hollywood, or Hollyweird, if you will? And it's like, how does this even does that even make sense on like what do you agree with me? First of all, do you think that there is a connection with the fact that it's happening with so many people? Like I said, from Beyonce to Suzanne Summers, even Kendall Jenner. The latest you got Johnny Depp was another one who just got robbed his house, Johnny Depp, and then you also have Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello. Their houses were invaded and with intruders as well. So it's like, what the hell?
My thing is, I just want to know, like, when they did Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello's house, did they find his stash of dildos? Why you said, oh no?
Yeah, because I know where you're going with this.
You know, I can't help going in the Joan Rivers direction with a joke. Did they find his little secret stash of dildos? So, I don't know. I need more information on this. I mean, now that you pointed out, it does seem like there seems to be some ongoing, maybe another revival of this bling ring with some new people. We are going around robbing celebrities. And I know there are some people that like to flaunt their celebritydom and things that they like to post on social media, be it jewelry or outfits and things. And these people, these kids that are so punch drunk on fame and pop culture, want to live vicariously through these people like a Kardashian. I get, on one hand, their bread and butter is slapping their name on a piece of something, and that's how they make their bones. I get that on one hand. And at the point where Kim said she was held up at gunpoint for some jewelry that she had flaunted on social media. Nobody deserves to have things that they've worked their ass off stolen. I'm sure the stuff that was taken from Beyonce's storage unit were old costumes and stuff, because I'm sure that's what she's putting in storage, which is what a lot of celebrities do. When you have a lot of stuff, a lot of costumes, a lot of pieces that you're no longer going to wear on your tours, where do you put it but in a storage unit? Yeah. You can't keep all that in your house or houses. So hopefully get to the bottom of this. I know, like I stated, that a lot of these sellers, they want to live vicariously through these famous people. So maybe this is their way of, going about it. I mean, unless y'all going on eBay and selling these products, then it's like, okay, maybe y'all can capture them that way. I do think it's scary that when I'm at home and I'm hawking products on social media, that you're going to come up to my house and pull some shit, and now I'm looking at you on camera. Like, that's scary. Well, someone, I dove in Kendall Jenner's pool just so you could say that you did. And then the guy that I guess tried to kill her or something or other that I heard, I don't know. Yeah, it's about hide your kids, hide your wives. I mean, hide your shit. Fuck the kids and the wives. Hide your furniture, hide your jewelry, hide your outfits. And Johnny Depp's been going through so much as it is, between him and that drama with Amber Heard and all that stuff. And then on top of that, now your house is getting robbed. It's just a lot. It's too much. It's too much.
Right. It is. It's a lot. Yeah. So I don't know, child. Oh, wait a minute. Oh.
Okay. They're gonna kiss her like he's about to eat her face.
Turn it off.
Child. I need to give me a diva fan.
We're gonna take a quick 30-second break.
Yes, because I need to I need to exercise that demon from what I just saw. Y'all want to talk about demons with Lil Nas X? By something. The sex demon. But yeah. Yeah, we talk about that Salt Lake City chick. We personally don't care about her. I say lock her ass up on the strength of how she treats her staff. Throw her ass in jail. Like I stated earlier.
Oh man, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm over here setting up this.
So that is the end of trending hot stories.
Yes, we got one more story, guys, coming up. Coming up, guys, we got Jennifer Shaw, Real Housewife, headed to prison. We got that whole story. We got the latest on that. I gotta go.
I wouldn't even know personally where to look because it's hard to find like good stores that are reasonably priced that have pieces that I would be interested in, especially in New York. So kudos to you and what you're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's all inspiration. Like I said, I couldn't shop in Buffalo and everyone loved my style. I thought, why not bring it here? It's an exact price point, affordable, not too expensive. Something different.
Exactly.
Let me ask you, do you see yourself, like, in 5 years from now, do you see yourself having multiple locations?
That'd be great. That's always the goal.
Yes. Welcome back to WNKIKITV, guys. We are back, and we're gonna get to the latest topic. Let me bring my co-host back in here. Yeah. So we are back.
Pretzels. Excuse me.
Yep. I had pretzels earlier. Actually, that's funny. Yeah. So. Where do we begin with this one here? So I mean, do you watch this season of Real Housewives first of all? Because the Salt Lake City, have you catched it, or you're just getting like the news today as well?
No, I saw the news. Where you talked about it. Actually,
well, I'm saying, have you been watching this season or? I haven't. I haven't seen the episode
like I
yet.
stated earlier, I'm over the whole Real Housewives situation. I don't care about these franchises. I feel throw along the tooth. Atlanta, besides Strippergate, has been really boring. So I can care less about the drama that's been cooked up. Beverly Hills is, I mean, not Beverly Hills. New Jersey's kind of just been the same old, same old. It just feels very contrite and tired. I am looking forward to New York because I saw that trailer. And it was very entertaining with a lot going on. And it got I'm not saying this helps, but Ebony Williams is going to be on the show, you know, from State of the Culture. I don't know what's going on with that show. I know because of the pandemic, they really couldn't shoot it. But, you know, she's a part of the upcoming season of The Real Housewives of New York. The trailer looked really interesting. So calling certain women on the show out on their racist, bigoted shit that they say, like Ramona, who doesn't take accountability for anything. Like, she, to me, is a reality TV version. I mean, even though she was a reality TV star, the reality TV version of Sharon Osbourne. Seeing how this plays out has got me intrigued. Beverly Hills, because of everything that's going on with Erica Jane, I'm curious to see once they drop a trailer how all this plays out. So I'm very curious about those two franchises. Other than that, I can care less. The only thing, like I stated earlier, that I'm aware of with this Jennifer Shaw woman is the video that went viral of her going in on her makeup artist and being disrespectful and getting physical and starting to throw a fit. Like, all that stuff that we saw with her acting like a spoiled see you next Tuesday is basically why I paid close attention to her. So I am curious, because they weren't going to let her go over that stuff. What happens now? Because since you said that she's going to be going to jail, because, you know, with her being a fraud, you know, I mean, at least her being a fraud to people matches her fake ass looking face with all that work she's had done on it. So at least, you know, fake face, fake whole career, fake franchise, fake money. And it's funny how you do this shit to people. And then you come on TV and this little thing called fame comes and sweeps you under this whole situation, and not thinking that, okay, you being on TV exposes you in a whole nother light. And so all the stuff you've been doing is going to come back to you. It's no different than, you know, Apollo and the stuff he was doing. Is no different than Teresa and Joe and what they were doing. And she said that she didn't know, but I think she did. She just didn't care. And as long as, you know, she got to live this lavish lifestyle. And that's what I keep saying with these people. Y'all want to live beyond your means. You want to live this lifestyle that you can't match yourselves up to. And when the chickens come home to roost, this is the product of what happens. So this is what I said with her, karma personified. The way you treat people and those things you do and what you put out in the universe comes right back to you. It's the same thing with Derek Jackson and all that stuff that he was doing out here, conning people. It looked like he done hypnotized his wife too.
Okay.
And was holding on to her for dear life. Like had the Ramona, she had the Ramona eyes and everything. Looked like she was lost. Like he gave her a puff of meth before he started. Oh, and by the way, you got something to say? Well, motherfucker, you done said it all. I don't know I was so blinded and brainwashed by everything you just said out your damn mouth. What could I add to it? But I left him, but then he showed improvement and I came back. Okay, Miss Steely, who don't want to leave Mister. You keep it up.
Yeah.
Bullshit. But overall, like I said, with this woman, I don't watch the show. So if she goes to jail, bye, bitch. She going to jail for 50 years, which means she's gonna die in prison if she gets that full. Because I'm sure she's 50 already, or pushing. She look like she's pushing 60. I mean, you can get as much filler in that face and that long ass man jaw if you want, but because all these women out here paying for jaws, but your jaws is looking a little masculine. You can pay as much money as you want to the surgeon, but your age ain't never gonna leave you. Your age ain't gonna lie. It is what it is. So she's probably pushing 60, and she gonna spend 50, and she gonna die in jail. Yeah. And so I don't know. I mean, if she goes, she'll be about as memorable as his first, current, and hopefully last season of Salt Lake City.
Right. Well, I'm trying to see if I can plug this. Here we go. No, I agree with you. I do. Because neither one of us have watched this damn show, so it's it is what it is. Do I feel bad for her? Absolutely not. Do I think that she deserves everyone's forgiveness? That's on people. But here you got it from Radar Online, stated that she's facing up to 50 years in prison. I'll read real quick here. It says, according to court documents obtained by Radar earlier today, Shaw was arrested by federal agents in Utah. She was taken into custody and will appear for a federal judge. The arrest came hours after Manhattan U.S. Attorney Audrey Strauss announced the indictment. Shaw and her assistant Stuart Smith are accused of playing a role in a long-running telemarketing scheme. Strauss said that Jennifer Shaw, who portrays herself as a wealthy and successful business person, it goes on here and says, and Stewart, who is portrayed as her first assistant, allegedly generated and sold leads. And real quick, I have a story connected to this, and this is the funny meme there, because isn't it hilarious how celebrities always, these rich celebrities always like try to act all wealthy, and the feds are always watching. So.
Exactly. Ask Teresa Judas and Juicy Joe. And it's funny how they said, raise your hand if you hope Jen's arrest was filmed. And I heard that she was actually filming Real Housewives of Salt Lake City when they arrested her. So
exactly.
We just may see the feds pull up. First of all, that's ratings gold for Bravo, by the way, if they capture that. So I don't know if this is for their second season that they're filming or whatever, because I don't watch the show. I don't know if I think they just had a reunion or something or another. So I'll see how this plays out. Like, I'm not going to watch the show, but when that comes up with the whole story and the clip and all that other mess, I'll definitely be checking it out on social media, because I'm sure it's going to go viral. And like I said, if it was captured, this is like, Bravo, I'm sure, is living for it, and Andy Cohen's booty hole is puckering as we speak.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. But no, I just think that regarding back to the story, like I was saying, that I have a connection to this whole situation because I used to work in telemarketing. I made a career in marketing. It started my passion for getting into sales and whatnot at a young age. And telemarketing can be good for business. It can also be used for bad, with everything in life. And clearly this Lady Jennifer Shaw here. She was, a part of a big scheme here, and like I said, I don't feel bad for her. But what she was doing was something called a multi-level marketing scheme, and that's when these businesses create pyramid schemes. And because it was a pyramid scheme, she was hiring other people who were then hiring other people, and then the money was residual income, so it was always going continuously in like a full circle. So she was getting paid on top of getting paid, and then she was selling and generating the leads. And when I did the legal work, I worked at a credible bank, Sterling National Bank, one of the top premier banks in New York State, selling mortgages. And it was telemarketing. I was, marketing to clients and trying to convince them to refinance and or purchase a mortgage for new home buyers. It was my job, but at the same time, it was legal, it was taxation, all of that involved. So this was illegal activities, and she was also literally targeting elderly people. She was able to pull leads. And when you do that, when you pull leads, that's what we did at the bank. People would apply online and, on certain websites for mortgages. We would pull their information. That's how we would know who they are, their address, their name, and then their phone number. And that's how, because they'll type it in there. When they say you want to be contacted, they put in information, and then we get it. And we would buy it from a data website. That's just what they do with tech. Everyone knows that, no one's, but that, again, that was legal. That was all regulated. The banks are one of the most heavy regulated, industries. But she wasn't doing that regulated. So this is really, really bad look for the telemarketing industry. It's already get a bad look as it is. I got so many hung up phone calls. I would make almost 500 calls a day, get hung up about at least 60% of the time. So this is not, I wasn't doing what she was doing. Again, I was giving people opportunities. This is right after the mortgage crisis with Obama lowering the rates and stuff. So I came in at the right time as a Black salesperson, being one of the few Black people in the sales industry at that, and gay. So that's a whole nother conversation. But I took pride in my work, and so I just want to add that to that story, because she is one of the worst of the worst. But I do agree with you, Chris. This is ratings gold, and Andy Cohen is definitely his eyes are definitely open, honey. What will Andy Cohen do? The world may never know, but I think we may have a clue, right, Chris? I think we know what he's gonna do.
You had this riff.
What would you do?
What I do as someone, if I was like at Bravo, I'd be excited, because I'm like, oh God, we finally got something that'll get people interested in watching the show. So seeing how all this plays out, or whatever they can get with filming everything, and I don't know what's going to happen, like what they can do. There's always legalities. Right. So seeing how much they could film and how much she could put on the show, will be interested to see where they go forward with all this. But capturing the moment of her being put in handcuffs while they were filming, now that's like, you can't even pay for that kind of publicity.
Oh my God! Oh no! Oh!
Well, no, Andy's not doing that.
My screen. Okay.
Andy's not doing that.
Girl, I can't right now. Ladies and gentlemen, so yeah, I just like I said, I hope Andy kept those damn cameras rolling. I really do. I really do, because she definitely, again, she deserves 100% everything that's coming her way. She started a lot of shit, as you said, Chris. And the girls want to see her get her.
She says Salaam alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, bitches. She's being a little epithet there, appropriation, if you will.
I mean, I have a t-shirt that says, that says namaste, bitches.
Okay. But yeah, I just, and I guess this is one of her classic ones here, huh? When she talks about sleeping with the grandfather. So yeah, guys, there you have it. And we will see what happens with that. But yeah, on one hand, it's annoying. On the other hand, it's like this is, you know, you kind of reap what you sow, girl. Because it's not going to be the last celebrity to again do something stupid like this. People think they get away with it. You know, we spoke about something on my show, Host Chat Live, where we spoke about somebody by the name of Hush Puppy who stole almost billions of dollars from U.S. governments around the country, and people through the coronavirus with all the PPP loans, and the first COVID relief went out with the formerly disgraced, twice impeached, you know, deranged, you know who. So this doesn't stop. And then you had Love and Hip Hop people get caught with doing tax scams and stuff like that because of the COVID money that they were stealing from unemployment. Like, so she's no different. You know, it comes in all shapes and sizes, and you know, we will see what will happen next. And you know, good riddance. I guess that's how we could end that one. But guys, as you can see there, coming up is the one and only Bobby Lights. He is talking about his boo, Lil Nas Xy, and we are about to take a listen, honey, and see what she has to say about her boo. Her boo said, I love this, Chris, by the way.
I watched it earlier today.
I love it. Let's take a listen. Oh, wait a minute.
What happened?
Okay, well, I'm gonna do it another way. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Okay, guys. So segue a little into the story here. We have Bobby Lights. He is confessing his. He's defending Lil Nas X, and he is also saying a lot of truths to the community that needs to hear this the most. And while this video is processing, I just want to give you guys a little segue into what we're about to get into. We started the show with Lil Nas X, and we're going to end the show with Lil Nas X. I apologize. Should I say we apologize for the technical issues. This is filmed live. So we will have that video for you in just under 30 seconds.
All right. So, let's get started. First of all, I'd like to say, in no way, shape, or form do I support Satanism at all. I don't support Satanism at all. In fact, I have been saved and sanctified by the blood of Jesus for a long time, since I was a little boy. And regardless how you guys want to put it, or anybody wants to put it, that I'm gay, that does not exclude the fact that I do have my own personal relationship with God. So there you have that. All right. So let's get started, because I feel like this might be a little lengthy, but I don't know. Anyways, when it comes to Lil Nas X, okay, I do not believe he's a Satan worshiper. Okay, everything in life is art. You know, Satan. People think that Satan is a guy with red horns. That's the depiction that people have, that society and that our world has created for Satan. Okay, that's a whole nother subject within itself. But all I'm saying is, y'all cannot get mad and go bonkers on this boy because he has chosen to depict what y'all have already projected onto him. The moment he came out the closet, y'all put Satan on him. In fact, there was a whole YouTube videos explaining on why he was going to hell, because he's doing he's behind a hidden agenda to blase squaze, and the youth are watching him. First of all, control your kids. You don't let them watch porn. So if you don't want your kids watching certain things, don't have them watching it. On top of that, yes, they may have fallen in love with Old Town Road. Okay, so what? This boy is allowed to express himself the way he shows fit. You can't get mad at him for depicting something and turning something that y'all have literally put on him from the beginning of time when he came out of the closet, and turn it into artistic form to express on how he's basically saying that he's going to be himself regardless of what society is saying about him. If you don't like it, do not say nothing. I'm sick of seeing on every blog, y'all tying in all these homophobic slurs and using this as an excuse as to why gays shouldn't be allowed, or the gays. Listen, I don't agree with it, but I'm not responding. You don't see me you haven't seen me comment anything on any blog agreeing with the scenario.
Yeah, so there you have it, guys. That was Lil Nas X. Lil Nas, one of the defenders of Lil Nas X, that is, shall I say, one of the many people defending Lil Nas X, that being Bobby Lite. I like that background. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. Okay, so defending Lil Nas X. And I'm here for it. I live for Bobby Lite. You know, I love what he's doing, and you know what he stands for. And I just think that he had a lot to say there, and there's more to that video. But we're not gonna play that part here. That was just enough to get the gist of what he said, and we definitely agree. I'm sure, Chris. I mean, you said that the whole entire episode. So, anything you want to add to that?
To the whole Lil Nas X situation.
No, just what Bobby said. Like, I mean, as I said, I think he kind of summed it up.
I don't like the fact that he's talking about Satanism and stuff. I don't condone Satanism. Nobody said he was a Satanist. I mean, just because he's giving a lap dance to Satan himself and basically kills him at the end and puts on his crown and takes over hell does not necessarily mean it's like, well, I'm not accepted in heaven, so I'm gonna just go to hell and I'm gonna wrap my thighs around a pole going down to hell, and I'm gonna give Satan a lap dance and I'm gonna kill him and I'm gonna take his horns and I'm gonna rule this planet where all the gays could come and be themselves because we're not accepted in heaven according to y'all. And if people paid attention to the little voiceover that he says at the beginning, he's saying that this world, Montero, is a place where you can be free to who you want to be. It's similar to Lady Gaga with Chromatica. Like, you can come here and be your free, authentic self and don't have to worry about it. Now, yeah, he went to hell and was like, I'm going to kill Lucifer and I'm going to take over and basically turn it into whatever my paradise is. These are the little symbolisms and things that I got from there. People want to bring up the Illuminati. People want to bring up all these other different things. Or if you put certain types of symbolism in your videos, then, you know, the Illuminati will help push your career to be something bigger than what it already is. Okay, y'all can come up with them fucking Illuminati conspiracy theories all the fuck y'all want. I don't pay attention to all that foolishness, although I do find it entertaining.
Right.
However, everything else that Bobby Lite said, I agree with. Y'all push this narrative of gays going to hell because this is what some book told you. You know, y'all like to cherry pick certain things out of the Bible, and I'm sure there's a lot of y'all that don't even follow half the shit that's in that damn book. Because the same ones that's up in here talking about he going to hell, y'all be the same ones that's up in here eating shellfish, going to fucking Red Lobster, and eat some goddamn seafood. So, and mixing fabrics and bearing false witness against your neighbors and fucking other people's husbands and wives. So a lot of y'all that sit up in here try to act like y'all holier than thou, but up in here cheating. One of them being Derek Jackson. We already talked about her. And all these other things, y'all try to perpetuate this certain thing, but y'all don't be practicing what you preach unless you are Mary Poppins, perfect in every way, and y'all follow every aspect of the Bible. I don't hear shit, and I know a lot of y'all don't fucking do it. So for y'all to want to, oh, this is the one thing y'all want to cherry pick. Y'all talking about gays going to hell. Then when we finally go to hell, y'all mad. Can y'all pick a struggle? Am I going to hell or no? Like, let me know. So.
Okay.
I don't have an issue with what Lil Nas X is doing. This is his artistic expression. This is the way he wants to express himself. And if you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. But a lot of you, you know, D-list celebrities that was trying to jump on the damn bandwagon because y'all want clicks and likes and people to retweet the shit y'all saying, like one of them queens from Jagged Edge. Don't nobody remember who half you motherfuckers are or when the last time y'all dropped a hit, but you had a whole lot to say about this one. But I bringing it back to Bobby Light, besides the thing he said about Satanism and I don't condone Satanism, which you ever said, no one said that Montero believes in that. Like you like calling Michael B. Jordan Bakari, I'm gonna call him Montero. So I don't have a problem with what he's doing, and if this is something that like he's basically to me projecting the hypocrisies of religion, like I said it before, but back in I remember you showed me that magazine when it first came in the mail.
Yeah,
he wants to project the hypocrisies of organized religion back into y'all faces because yes, a lot of young kids, when you find out your child is gay, y'all want to throw them out the house and they end up coming to New York or LA and they're homeless, or they find their tribe or they wind up on the streets prostituting, trying to make ends meet, you know, trying to survive, and they become prostitutes or they're homeless or they're sleeping with somebody just to have a roof over their head just for the night. They get wrapped up in drugs. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on in our community that we don't talk about. And this is the product of, because you're more focused, and this is the truth of it all, y'all are more worried about what other people think instead of embracing your child unconditionally and not giving a fuck what anybody thinks. So that's why I love my parents, because my mother's like, that's my child. I love him regardless of who he is. And we need more parents like that. And like Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union, those people out there who are of color, who celebrate and love and accept their kids. And I like what Lil Nas X is doing. And like I said, I'm looking forward to what he's going to bring with the follow-up to this video, as well as the new album. I was not a Lil Nas X fan. I'm going to say that at the beginning. I wasn't. I know you and DJ were from the beginning, and y'all been like huge supporters. And I was like, okay, y'all like it, I love it. But I'm not getting, you know, he hasn't pulled me in yet. But then when he started, okay, I'm like, yes, he celebrated. You know, as one of my quotes said, I live for faggots. And he's a out and proud young queer Generation Z male, like in the same demographic as Lil Nas X. And if Lil Nas, what he's doing is liberating other young people to feel comfortable in their own skin, to be their authentic selves without any fucks given, then that's what I am for, instead of all this other negative crap that people are saying about him. So that's the bottom line for me.
Right. Exactly. we all concur. And like I said, you guys got anything you want to say? You guys can tweet us on Twitter. Unfortunately, you cannot tweet Chrissy Teigen, but you can still tweet us and let us know your thoughts.
Leave comments on the YouTube page because
right,
we're gonna
comments on the YouTube.
We're gonna put Little Nas X hashtag so y'all can come and watch the video for those of y'all who just in it for the first time. And leave your comments and all this stuff, because what we're here to do is we're not just trying to get clicks and likes and all other stuff where people are just up in here just on devil worship and saying certain little buzzwords and feeding your fans a bunch of bullshit because y'all want a bunch of clicks and likes. We want to sit and actually break down what was possibly in his head and the imagery and all that other stuff of what our take on the video was, which I don't think is a lot of community. They was doing research. They said they was doing research on it and what it was about. I got it immediately when I watched the video. I didn't need to do research because I understood where he was coming from because I understand what the church does. Madonna has been putting this in her music for 30-something odd years, but y'all act like this is some new shit. And I already said what I said in the beginning about DMX and Bone Thugs and Harmony and so many other people who have used religion and brought that stuff up in their videos, and y'all had nothing to say. Although the South Park one did have a lot of controversy. I will say that.
Well, when do they not? Yes, there you have it, guys. We want to thank everyone for tuning in for this episode of Trending Stories via Wednesday Night Kiki. And we'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.
Leave Lil Nas X alone.
Hope she does get the help that she needs. I mean, I know Sonny says that this conservatorship, she may not be able to get out of it because no one has ever done it. But you know what? Like I always say, there's a first time for everything. So maybe she will.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the reason why it's never been, challenged is no one ever challenged it. So it's not that it can't happen. It's just there's no record in the law that shows that it's possible. But like everything, no one said. People said Obamacare and gay marriage impossible. You just gotta, have the right case. The right people put the right case out there. I mean, clearly she's cognitive, so it's not like she's I don't know. I can't even think of anyone, but she's not an imbecile. She could think for herself basically. Whatever the hunter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No, whatever the father is trying to do is clearly has to do with. I think the father really wanted to. I think that's what it was. I don't even think it has anything to do with mental health because clearly. I mean, okay, she according to the documentary, she clearly was dealing with some postpartum depression, which obviously is very common for new moms.
Women after they have children.
Right. So the media obviously
took people relatively you forget what
narrative.
The feeding of the umbrella came from and all that stuff.
And the media got the best of it, so and that's just kind of how it snowballed from there.
Because the paparazzi pissed me off too. They were like, "Oh well, we didn't know that she was going through so much because she didn't say anything." I'm like, "You couldn't tell by her fucking language? Like, are you dumb?" So to me, I'm like, you guys were not interested in her mental health. You didn't care about her. You didn't care about